Howdy. Hi. Day 19, I think. I think that's where we're at. I'm really excited. I know I say that every night, but it should be a pretty good one. Let's see here. Can you see me okay? Let me find my marker because I'll be drawing some stuff tonight. And we'll get started here right now. Looks like it's 6:30. So are y'all ready to jump in? So today is day 19, positive success habit training, number 42, which might sound kind of weird, but we're going to be talking about the importance of the number 42 and how it has helped me transform my life, as well as how it's implemented into Limegrover coaching and how it can help you build positive success habits. Thank you for being here. And I'm pretty excited about it. And the reason I chose to kind of hone in on this, we'll get into later, but the reason for it tonight is because I heard this quote and it took me down a rabbit hole. I don't know who said it, and I've reached out to see if I can figure out who said it so I can give them credit. But it really hit me hard when I heard it, and so I thought I would share it. And it said, once you are able, through your skills that have utility, to move somebody else closer to their goal, you will become a hot commodity, no matter what. And hi. And at first I was like, well, that was kind of a weird thing. It's also we have a thunderstorm going on, so if it's a little loud, that's why. But um, it's not really grammatically correct in what he said. However, I really liked what he said, and it was very impactful. And I kind of unpacked it, and I thought that talking about the number 42 would be relevant in this situation. And so let me backtrack to what he said. And we've talked about skills, we've talked about talent, and we've talked about how you can grow your talent, how you can grow your skills, right? And how you can have a talent, but then improve upon that. So when I'm thinking about skills and talent, I kind of, oops, let me draw on here really quickly. So I think, maybe this is your talent circle, and this is your skill circle, and there's a little bit of overlap, right? But when our skills have the utility to move somebody else closer to their goal, we can become a hot commodity, right? So the example given with this situation was the scientists after World War II. Before the war, they were Nazis, and we didn't want anything to do with them. But then we let all of that go by the wayside because they had so many skills, and we wanted their knowledge, right? Because they were so knowledgeable and could help move us forward. We were willing to forgive the fact that they were a Nazi. And so the question is really, what is your skill? How can you provide a hot commodity to somebody else? How can you create and build and improve upon and learn and grow and change, evolve, all these words, right? That can help elevate you to make you a desired commodity to somebody or something or someone who will value what you have to offer. I would say that it starts with finding your why. It starts with understanding your purpose. It starts with understanding what you're passionate about to get you to that next level. So if we add passion to this circle, I would say passion maybe lies between your talents and your skills. So you've got some overlap, and your talent would be, obviously, you've got this overlap with your talent and your passion. You've got this overlap with your talent and your skills. And you've got this overlap with your skills and your passion. But right here in this one small area, this is where you can find success. This isn't a big area in the diagram of everything. But if you think about it, That's where the hard work comes in, right? You have to continue to work within this area to bring all of your passion and your talents and your skills, those learned things that you're implementing into your life to be successful in that moment. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but so many millionaires were made and created during the Great Depression or Great Recession, even in 2008. And oftentimes, a lot of times when our economy was down low, like GM, CNN, HP, all these companies have been so successful during a recession. And why, right? It's because somebody was willing to take a risk and they were open to saying that this isn't working, right? And we have to change what we're doing. And maybe my concept and maybe my idea will stick. And I mean, the most recent is we had like Uber in 2008 was a brand new company, and they really took off during the Great Recession. And it was because somebody had this vision and they had a passion to provide this service, and they figured out their why and they kept going and they didn't quit. And when we're talking about ourselves, I would say right now is that time. Don't give up. Don't stop working on yourself, because we all have that time right now. We're not going to go back to the way things used to be. Too often we're worried about other people's opinions, and we're too afraid of our own thoughts, and we're too worried about how we're going to get to that next step. But we have to accept that failure might happen, that we will make mistakes along the way. But we have to keep pushing through these things, right? We have to lean into our fears and understand that if we're trying to operate in this small area, we can get to success, because opportunities will start to present themselves as we're going toward that thing that we're so passionate about. So keep pushing. I like this saying that I actually have probably two analogies, though, three maybe, that I want to bring up really quickly tonight. And one of them is, in this moment, are you going to be a bison or a cow? And I know we've talked about this, but the cow will look at the storm and walk away from it, and they don't know, they're not leading in any direction. So I would say that in our analogies we've been talking about, maybe they're running 100 miles in the wrong direction, but they're still moving, so they're going to get out of the storm eventually. However, if you're a bison and you lean into that storm and you lean into that fear and you just keep showing up to get through the struggle, you'll come out on the other side not only quicker, but stronger too, right? So keep giving it your all and knowing where you're trying to go. Let me see here. I got a little off my plan here, but when you are choosing to implement positive success habits, you can see your life transform. And I think that you have to be willing to show up and put in the time and put in the effort to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. And then you'll keep building new habits and you'll be stacking on top of them. Do you want to have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset, or do you want to have a fixed mindset or a limiting belief that you can't do something? Because if that's the case, then concern yourself as a sheep. And I don't know if I've given a great analogy on this, so I'm sorry tonight, but if you think about the saying, it says a lion doesn't compare itself with the opinions of sheep. Well, what does that mean? A lion is the king of the jungle. A lion would not concern himself with the sheep, and a king would not concern themselves with the opinion of his followers. So remember that if you are acting as a sheep and you're you're being timid and you're weak-minded and you're in a fixed mindset and you're not trying to push your boundaries, that you're not going to continue to grow and you're not going to get further. Use this time to work on yourself, because things are never going to go back to how they were before. It's inevitable. There's going to be so many changes now. And I love what Kimber said, is like, it's an opportunity to take a risk. I 100% agree. And push yourself, right? Make that risk a reality. Watch the hard work that you put in and the implementation of small actionable steps take you to that next level. So another thing that I stumbled across through this quote, as random as that is like finding out how you can be the best at something and honing in on your skills and your passion and your talents and your building success, is I started thinking about a rainbow. And I know, kind of random, but follow along with me here. And honestly, I love what a rainbow represents. I think that they're very cool in the sense that you don't see them very often, so they're unique, right? And then you also have this concept that they're rare, and I think that they provide hope, because as the old stories go, right, there's always a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And why? I mean, that's not true, but I like to think that that might be the case. And so every time I see a rainbow, I get some hope. And with a rainbow, you actually need two conditions. I mean, there's other things that can happen, but two major conditions. The sunlight has to be at a low angle, more specifically at about 42 degrees, and it has to be coming from behind. And then there has to be water, obviously, with like rain is normally when you see a rainbow. So condensation in the air of rain falling opposite of the sun. So I think that's pretty cool, because you have to have this unique setting in order for a rainbow to occur. Do you guys want to see or hear a couple fun facts about a rainbow? I thought they're pretty cool. Just type a 1 in the comments if you're interested in hearing some more about rainbows. I've got, what did I write down here? Like five fun facts in here. Let me see. Let me look at my notes. So I'm just going to tell you. Rainbows can actually appear at night. And I thought that was pretty cool, but it's actually called a moonbow. And you can touch a rainbow, but you can never touch your own rainbow, because as you're going toward it, it's always going to go away, right? You can never touch the end of a rainbow. And rainbows have more than 1 million colors in the stream of it. There's colors in there that we can't even see, but obviously we normally just see the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and so it kind of has that progression. But I thought that was cool. There's over 1 million colors in a rainbow. And I know I'm a little off topic, but I just thought this was cool. Double rainbows actually are not very rare. You can actually have up to quadruple rainbows. And then rainbows are highly polarized. You can make them disappear. So if you have polarized sunglasses on, you can like twist the glasses and then it disappears. So I thought that was cool. Anyway, the main point about rainbows here is that the angle has to be at 42 degrees in order to see them. And this leads into why I chose the number 42 as part of our marketing collateral. I've been kind of all over the place, but it really, to me, means that show up and find something you're passionate about that can help you remember these triggers, right? So this is like a trigger for me in the number 42. And the number 42, long story short, is it is said that you are 42% more likely to achieve a goal if you write it down. So when I heard that, which was years ago on a podcast, I started to think like, okay, well, if that's the case, then I'm going to just write it down. I'm going to start trying to be better about writing these things. And while maybe you know this about me, maybe you don't, I have a love-hate relationship for marketing. I've learned a lot about it in school. I've done a lot of research on the psychology of it and how people are kind of manipulating us to spend money and this and that. So we'll get into that at a different time. That is not during Positive Success Habits training. But the number 42 has been so impactful, and it's part of my brand now, because if you're implementing these positive success habits and you're writing down your goals and dreams, you're going to achieve them. I mean, it's proven, because you're activating the left side of your brain and the right side of your brain. I'm so off topic tonight, but it's okay. Let me review my notes here. I don't know where I wrote that down. I wanted to give you a little more detail about that. Okay, so the left side, sorry, the left side of the brain is the logic side, and you're activating that by writing it down. And then the right side of your brain is your imaginative side. And so when you're activating both of those, you're more likely to remember what you wrote down, but you can also go back and reference it, right? So if we're thinking about that in our journals that we've talked about in this, is make that T at the bottom of your page and write down your goals and dreams and your positives. And you've got 3 for each day, right? And just doing that simple act, you can learn so much about where you were, where you've been, and where you want to go. Because remember, life's a journey, and you have to take little steps to keep moving forward, right? I just want to throw this out there as like a win for me through Limegrover coaching, and say that I've wanted to do something like this positive success habits training for a long time. And while I was a little overzealous in thinking that 30 minutes was a great idea, showing up every weekday has made me so much more comfortable to do this type of interaction. Because at the beginning of this, I didn't know how to be on camera. I didn't know how to edit audio. I didn't know how to edit video, how to post to YouTube, how to do a Facebook Live. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. I hate my haircut right now. I didn't think I'd be in front of a camera. I've been so self-conscious about different things, but just showing up and seeing the impact it can make with other people means so much. And so I really just want to thank everybody who has tuned in to these videos. And I hope that by me being vulnerable, it's allowing you to gain self-confidence. But self-confidence, there's this competence-confidence loop that I really like this concept. And it's like kind of what came first. So do you gain confidence or do you gain competence first? And you go through this loop of it, and you're just going to get stronger and stronger. And it's the same concept with going after your goals and dreams and celebrating your wins and wanting to keep showing up and impressing yourself day after day after day. Because if you're doing something that intimidates you or is something that you're afraid of, that is when you're growing. That is when you're leaning into that fear, and you get stronger in those moments. At the beginning of this, I was so nervous, but now I've gained a lot of confidence, and I'm excited to keep moving forward. I've put myself out there. I've actually gained clients this week. I've gained the ability and the desire to go talk to people about what I do. I have this foundation that I've built, right? So while I can do all the research about it, until I take action, it's not a reality. And that's what I've learned through all of this. And so I just want to appreciate everybody who's tuned in, because this has been a huge learning opportunity for me. And I don't want to downplay that this is all new to me as well. So again, what we started with in this was this quote that said, once you are able, through your skills that have utility, to move somebody else closer to their goals, you will become a hot commodity, no matter what. And I think that's so powerful. I've appreciated being able to use my voice to help other people achieve their goals and dreams. And I hope to continue to do that, because positive success habits, building on little habits and changing bad habits slowly over time, just trying to tweak what you already do versus eliminating and omitting things, is so important. I think that you can do so much more than you think you can. And I think you have to remember that. So like I said, I got a little off topic here. So if I didn't really clearly answer this question, I'll just throw this out there. The number 42 was our conversation for tonight. And while it has a meaning in Limegrover coaching, and that is you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals and dreams if you write them down, it also is very unique, because how many people are willing to do that? Not a lot of people are. So when you start writing them down, you're in this elite club of the 42 percenters, as I like to call it. And you're providing yourself hope, and you're giving motivation and inspiration to yourself and your uniqueness. And I think that that's why the rainbow ties really well into it, because if you're giving that 42-degree angle, it's so special. And be rare, be unique. Don't be like other people. After countless hours of studying and learning and growing and writing and changing my fixed mindset and improving my habits and building upon other habits and implementing positive success habits, I've been able to strive and get closer to my goals and dreams. And people are recognizing that. And so it's so powerful that I just want everybody to know their passion and know their why and keep pushing towards that and don't stop. Because for too long, I didn't think that I could be a successful business owner. I've wanted to be an entrepreneur for my whole life, but I always had this nagging idea in my mind. And when I heard the number 42 concept, it really changed my beliefs on that. And that limiting belief was, in order to be successful in business, I had to be 3 things. I had to be tall, which I am pretty tall. I had to be white, which I am. And I know that's a weird thing to be saying in this time with the systemic racism conversations and everything going on, but this is my limiting belief, right? And number 3, I had to be a male, which I would never be. And I was never going to be the tallest female. And I just thought that because I was not those 3 things, the trifecta to be a strong business owner, that I would never be able to be successful in business on my own. I would always have to work for someone. But once I've learned that that's not the case, and that I can pursue my passion if I keep going after it every single day, it all changed. I mean, I can't express it enough. And I just hope that you will go and achieve your goals and dreams, and you'll be impactful and know your purpose and be intentional was more the word I was looking for. But find what makes you unique, figure it out, and repeat that every day. So that way those little habits that get you to your next level are easier and easier. This one was kind of all over the place, but we only have 3 more days, and I'm excited for tomorrow. We're going to be talking about grit. So hopefully you'll be able to show up for that one. And then tonight's homework, of course, I didn't write it down again, is fill in your habit tracker, find something that makes you unique, and keep pushing. I mean, don't stop. Write in your journal for 20 minutes and write down your goals and dreams and your positives, and really watch your life transform, because you are made for more and you can do more than you think you can. And just keep showing up day after day after day. That's all I have tonight. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.